So this project was born after I read one comment from 7 years ago saying, yeah, but how would I rig a Centaur? It's got 2 spines. So I found this free Centaur model from sketchfab.com. The first thing I did was import the horse fit skeleton, which Advanced Skeleton comes with. So the first thing you want to do is fit the skeleton to the horse anatomy, right? And then I just deleted all of the head stuff from the neck up. And then you continue fitting it. You've got to remember that fit skeletons are just bones with special attributes. And then when you hit build, it's going to take a look at the bones and it's going to read the attributes, and then it's going to do whatever the attributes say. So if the attribute says I am a foot controller, it's going to build the IK controller and it's going to build the FK controller. We actually have full control on a bone by bone basis. So what I did next is import a biped. And then we get a warning saying, what do you want to do? Do you want to replace or merge? And we want to merge because we want to keep the torso. So then we just rename it. And so now you can see that it imported, but it has this transform node, which took a little while for me to figure out exactly. But in the end, it is due to when we fit our horse skeleton, we had scaled the fit skeleton top node. And so this transform group is undoing the scale on our torso, on our biped. So what we have to do is remove it from the hierarchy and then freeze the scale of the fit skeleton and then bring it back in. And it's best practice to just always freeze the scale when you are rigging as soon as possible. Like as soon as you change it, just freeze it because it can just cause a myriad of problems. So then what I did was just delete the bottom half of the torso, of the biped. And then you really just middle click it in the outliner and drag it to the horse hierarchy. And so I just dropped it right on the chest. And so now it's got all of the torso bones have been renamed to have a 1 at the end. And then you just fit it like you would any biped. Yeah, so the thing to remember when fitting a biped is keep the chest bone at the bottom of the rib cage. So after you fit the skeletons, you can show geometry with the little checkbox. And so this is what the fatness attribute of the bones controls. And for my workflow, I always will do a pass of making sure the fatness reflects the geo of the model. And this helps in 2 major ways. The first is that it will build your controllers on the outside of the geo, so you're not going to have controllers disappearing into the geometry. Yeah, and so this is just clicking on the bones and then going into their fat attributes and changing that till the geometry looks good. And then the other major thing that it will help with is when we create a skin cage later, it's going to really speed up the skinning workflow. So as you can see, we got an error here. And the error was due to our spine controllers, our spine IK FK switches. Because we have 2 of them, both of them got renamed. So now one is spine FK1 and one is spine FK2, and we don't have one without a number. And so Advanced Skeleton script is looking for one without the number. So it took me a while to figure out that that's what was going on. So the solution was I just found them in the outliner and then in the selection set, which is what Advanced Skeleton uses for various different things. I just selected the nodes and renamed one. I renamed 2 to be nothing. So then we have nothing and then 1. Yeah, and then we've got this dialog option which says, hey, we realize that we're trying to do something on a controller that doesn't exist anymore. Do you want us to delete it? Do you want us to delete the reference to it? And that is, yep, exactly what you want. So now we can see that we've got all of our bones in the right places, and then when we build a skin cage, after editing the curves a tiny little bit to fit the model a bit better, you can see we had a really good starting point based on the fatness. Then we can select our geo and copy skin weights, and now we've got an incredible starting point. You can see we need a little bit of cleanup, but it's really not too bad. And so that was, yeah, my process for rigging a Centaur character, someone who's got 2 spines.